Hello YouTube, this is Too Raw for TV. So, in this video, I want to delve further into the what-if scenario with Draymond Green. Now, we've already established that Draymond Green is a bum. You know, we don't need to go further into that. All right? You know, he's been carried throughout the years by legitimate all-star in the Hall of Fame talent in Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and even betweeners like Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston. Draymond Green is a fraud. His Defensive Player of the Year award was media bias garbage. And Draymond is an annoying combination of having the vocal prowess of a Muhammad Ali, but the actual skills of, say, a Glass Joe. You know, it's very annoying. Okay, so this is what a lot of us have decided to do in the LDBC, the Lions in Basketball community. We've decided to lower the bar a little bit for Draymond, to make things a little bit fairer for him. So in this scenario, in my video, I'm going to put him in a new timeline. In this timeline, Draymond Green is actually the first male accepted out of mercy to the Wnba to help to promote the league. So he's competing against female talent now. Now, in this scenario, how does Draymond Green fare? Now, the first question is he the first option? That's not necessarily a surefire thing with all of the great talent that's infinitely better than Draymond Green right now in the WNBA. Okay? That's not a surefire thing. But if he was the first option, I'd give him this. Okay? I think that Draymond Green, in the right situation against the WNBA talent, I think he'd be a superior version of Danny Fortson. And that's saying a lot. I think in the right situation, he'd be, maximum minutes, first option. Coach that looking forward to getting fired. I'd give him about 16 points and 11 and a half rebounds per game. All right. So I think Draymond would utilize his physical strength, his male strength, which would overcome the superior skill of the female players. And I think he would get close to record breaking when it comes to rebounds. Okay, I think he might be the best rebounder in the WNBA. But when it comes to scoring, he still is not going to be amongst the all elite. He's not going to be up there with the Sue Birds. He's not going to be up there with, the Diana Taurasi's. He's not going to be with the Cheryl Swoops, the Cynthia Coopers. He's not going to be amongst those females. Excuse me, Shamika Holmes-Clark. I might be dating myself, but I really haven't watched the WNBA in quite some time. But whoever it is, the top scorer right now, Draymond's not going to be able to touch her. But I'm gonna tell you something like this: he's still not going to be the best the best post player. Brittany Griner would dominate him. The 7-time WNBA blocks leader, arguably the best outside of Lisa Leslie, one of the best post players of all time, the best post player playing today. I think Brittany Griner, 6'8", with her length, would dominate Draymond. I think she would put up 20, 10, in her sleep on him, And, I said this last night in Ticket's podcast, you want to talk about the all-time greats, playing against him, I think Don Staley would cross him out of his shoes, and Cheryl Swoops would just drive past his, sloth-footed ass like it's nothing. Cheryl Swoops was compared to the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. But you know who would absolutely just devastate him? And I mean just devastate him in her prime would be, Cheryl Miller. I mean, Cheryl Miller, I'm not even talking about players like Tina Thompson, who would, probably outscore him too, probably outscore him one-on-one matchups. But Cheryl Miller would probably have games like 40 points, 25 rebounds, 5 blocks. So then you have to wonder exactly what level can Draymond dominate. He's playing better, in these situations where he doesn't have talent around him with the women, but he's still not the best player. So I think you have to go to the prep level. The prep level, he might be, no, he still wouldn't be the best player. I think you might have to go all the way to middle school. That level, junior, varsity, that might be the level where Draymond dominates, and he's the Moses Malone, per se, of that level, When he going up against, the 13 and 14-year-olds of the country, then I think that Draymond becomes the dominant player that he dreams of himself being delusionally every day. That level I could see Draymond putting up 25 points, 20 rebounds in his sleep. There, I say, Draymond would be an absolute beast. But against the WNBA, I don't know, guys. I could see Draymond getting his shot blocked a lot, and a lot of these things that a lot of people forget, man. The WNBA female arguably are better outside shooters than even the guys in the NBA. So Draymond's going to struggle. He's still going to shoot the ball like he has an Igor hump on his back. So I just don't see him dominating. Maybe at best, I could see him as Michael Cage with a limited outside shot. What do you think? Tell me what you guys think in the comments section. I'm trying to get Draymond into a situation where he could actually back up his words, against Charles Barkley. Ticket says something interesting. He thinks that if this was 25 or 30 years ago, Charles Barkley might have put up a Kobe game against him. And I think it's actually pretty accurate, because you got to remember something. That game where Charles had 56 points against the Warriors, that playoff game, Charles had 27 in the first quarter, 38 at halftime, and 56 at the end of the game. But Charles only took 8 shots in the second half. He only took 8 shots in the second half, and I think something like 4 shots in the second quarter. So he really wasn't trying to break a record. But I think if this was Draymond guarding him, say in 1994, talking that much garbage about him, I think that would have motivated Charles Barkley to put up about 85 against him. And then after he scored his last bucket, I think he would then, as he's coming down from dunking on Draymond, I think he comes up with a vintage Tyson-like right hand to Draymond's head, okay? Right to the temple. And as it connects, I see Charles Barkley spitting on him, and then I see Draymond crying as he falls down to the ground, and then I can see, his fellow players pointing and I'm talking about the Warriors pointing and laughing at him. Latrell Sprewell, Wnba, all those guys laughing at him, saying you're a pussy, you don't belong in this league. And then in the locker room, they even whoop his ass, because they just embarrassed that he's even a teammate of theirs. And then down to the CBA he goes after the series is over. And then Draymond is rightfully where he belongs, a bum in the Continental Basketball Association, what it used to be. So that's my assessment of Draymond Green if he was in the WNBA. Tell me what you guys think.